talk about, when you broke your jaw in that fight. Did you feel it when it happened, or you couldn't feel it because all the adrenaline?
No, your veins? I get that question a lot, because we all know that adrenaline takes the pain away, in some sense, and it does. But when he caught me in that 5th round, it caught me clean over right hand. That was my fault, because I threw a jab and I came back with my hands down and my mouth open. So he caught me in my jaw and just broke it in half, broke. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, it's broken. I remember saying to myself, because prior to that fight, I remember saying, I'm going to break his jaw. I remember telling my team, I'm going to break his jaw. And go figures, that thing was a test from God or something, because he caught me clean and it broke it. I remember telling myself, man, why did I say that? and it was something crazy, because I thought you can locate your jaw back, because I've seen before where some people dislocate their shoulder and they put it back together. For some crazy reason, I thought in the fight that I could probably put it back together. But just going back to the corner, sitting down, and I told my pa, I told him, hey, pa, me chingó la quijada. And my dad looked at me with frightened eyes. That's one thing that I said. I never see my dad scared or worried. Even in tough situations, he always has a straight face, never worried. And I remember looking at my eyes, pero estás bien, mijo? And I remember saying yes, but I don't know what I was saying. Because my dad said, "You want to estás bien?" I said, "Yeah." But at that time, you only got 1 minute of rest. And I had my trainer at the time, Manny Robles, was telling me instructions. So I'm hearing him, then I'm hearing Miguelito Diaz, who's a cut man, trying to stop the bleeding. And I got my father, and these 3 persons are talking, but I'm talking to myself. So it's a lot of people talking at the same time. I wasn't paying attention to nothing. I was just paying attention to what I was telling myself. And my questions were, am I going to stop the fight? Or is my trainer going to stop the fight? Because I remember as a team talking about tough fights, and remember them saying that if we're ever in a tough situation, that they're going to be obligated to stop the fight, because they don't want to see their fighter being hurt. So I remember thinking about that my trainer is like, is my trainer Manny Robles going to stop the fight? Is my father going to stop the fight? Is the referee going to stop the fight? Because the referee also passes by to check the corner. Or should I stop the fight? Because obviously I want to last in boxing, and for me to last in boxing, you got to get hit and not take a lot of damage during your career. So while I was thinking all those things, what was going to happen? You hear the 10 seconds where it's time for the team to leave, and you have to get up and you got to go to fight. So while I'm thinking all these, a 10-second countdown goes, and everybody has to leave, and they leave, and that was one of the most frightening things, that you can have the best corner, man. You can have Mike Tyson in your corner, but at the end of the day, you're by yourself inside the ring. And when they left, I remember thinking, what's going to happen? So by the time I had to think, the bell rang again, and we had to go. So I said, all right, I'm going to take it one more round. So I remember going to that next round, and I remember fighting through it. And once thing you know, the bell rang again. So I said to myself, all right, I'm just going to take it round by round, see what happens. And that's what I did. That's what we did. Every punch that he would land hurt it a lot. It was like a volume of pain just goes a lot, and then when there was no pain, no shots, the pain would leave through the adrenaline. But there was a lot of punches landing. I remember in the 10th round, we were dominating. I feel like I was winning the fight, even though it was a bloody mess. His nose was broken, my jaw was broken. There was just a lot of blood everywhere. I remember holding him, clinching, trying to be, buy some time. And he puts his hands up and he tries to push me away, but he didn't know that he had broken my jaw. He never realized that he had broken my jaw too later in the fight, too later when the fight was over. So what he does, he puts his hands in my face and tries to push me away because I was holding him. And while he does that, I hear it crack 2 more times.
Oh,
I felt he broken. It was him pushing, and you can see it in the video. After he pushes me, you can see my jaw even more twisted to a side. I remember thinking to myself, man, this sucks.
It sucks. Like, this is horrible.
I remember a couple of times hurting him. And I'm telling myself, man, why does he not go down? But for people who don't know, he came overweight for that fight. He was 3 pounds over. 3 pounds over, and then the night of a fight, I believe it was like 147, something crazy. I don't know the exact, but it was something crazy, high in weight. So every shot that I was landing, I would kind of hurt him, but he wouldn't go down. And I would tell my man, why didn't you just go down? He just kept on coming forward and forward, landing those shots. And like I said, every shot that landed, a lot of pain would go, and then it would go away. But in the 10th round, like I said, he broke it a little bit more due to because he pushed me away. And then, the championship rounds at 12, 11, and 12, I remember hearing Miguelito Diaz say that, he said something about, your tooth fell. He said, like,
No.
I believe it was in the 11th round, he said, your tooth fell. So, but really, what it really was that my jaw was split open.
Oh,
so he thought it was my tooth had fallen. So when he says that, I thought to myself, oh man, I'm stupid. I thought this whole time I had my jaw broken. It is just a tooth that fell. So that gave me a lot more confidence. Oh man, I thought I had my jaw broken. So I'm gonna stay in there.
Oh, interesting.
Because a tooth can fall, no pasa nada. No, I don't have my jaw broken.
No pasa nada.
I fought. For the 11th round and 12th round, I fought thinking that my jaw wasn't broken. So by the time the fight was
I did
over,
not know that.
I was happy because when going to 12 rounds, it's one of the best experiences because it's not easy. Obviously, it's you go through a lot of pain, endurance, and it's not easy to go 12 rounds. So going to 12 rounds, I feel like sometimes it's even better feeling than just knocking out your opponent. So I was happy. I knew we won the fight, and I remember telling my dad just looking at me scared, worried, and my cousin Bubba looking worried. My manager Frank Espinosa, they all kept looking at me like something was bad. And I remember hugging my papa, and I said, "Pa, it's crazy. I thought the guy broke my jaw. Pensé que me quebré quijada." And my pa looks at me scared. He goes, "Like, tienes quebrada. Like, it is broken." And I knew it, man. I this whole time I think it was just the felt Miguelito Diaz, but it was a good thing because when he said that, I thought, oh, it's not broken. So I got to fight a little bit more comfortable. So we got the victory, man. We got the victory. I was very happy. The fight was tough, but what was tougher was the aftermath of what
The
happened.
recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
It was
How crappy was it?
I'm sure
bad.
it was horrible. Because
you fight and you're dehydrated and you go through 2 months of diet. What do you want to do? You want to go home. You're living in abstinence in camp. You want to go home to your wife. But you want to go eat too because you're hungry. You've been sacrificing 2 months of diet. You want to drink water. You're dehydrated. And I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink water because they put me, first we'll go back. They put us in the ambulance. And that was a shocking moment because obviously we're happy we won the fight. But then to get you out of the arena, they have to put you on they have to put you in the ambulance.
Stretcher. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat down, immediately everybody started crying. My teammates were crying. My sister was crying. My father had a sad face. He worried. So I was like, man, I remember telling him, "Come on, man, we won. I'm gonna see you guys over there. We're gonna go do this and that." Once we got in the ambulance, it turned lonely very quick. Everybody's with you, and all of a sudden it's lonely. I'm just looking at myself and looking at my father. My father was the only guy with me. I had my jaw broken, and my phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up. I didn't imagine what was going on because for me it was just a normal night of boxing. But that day I felt that I graduated for the fans because the fans. I feel like boxing is it's a very tough sport because it's very hard to convince a boxing fan. Sometimes you need to show a war, or sometimes you got to show a bloody fight. Sometimes you got to have a knockout resume. But that night, I felt that everybody was happy for the fight.